Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to assume that this is live because it says it's live. I am in tune. I am just going to start out because if you missed the beginning, then we can rewind it and play it again later. And I've got a lot of songs that I want to get through. Greetings, thank you for tuning in and watching. Thank you to Fairhaven College and Fairhaven and John Bowers, the Dean, and Don Schluter and everybody that's been helping with the Fairhaven Online Music Streaming Festival, of which I'm super stoked to be a part. One thing that's happened, not having gigs since right before St. Paddy's Day, is my ability to talk to an audience, whether real or virtual, is what's the college educated word for when something goes away? It's worn out, it's dissipated. I can't finish my sentences. So I'm going to try to get through songs and get a couple guests up here, one at a time, as safely as possible with the doors open. And I'm not going to talk too much about the songs. If you're interested in the sort of folk ritual of where I learned it, where the song is from, the history of the song, hit me up. I love to talk about that kind of thing, but I don't feel like I need to actually say it before every song at this particular set. So I'm just going to say that this song is the world's saddest grocery list. I'm just going to kick it off with that. Caledonia, and I got loading in number 3. Well, I got lodging with Donald Norman. Well, he had a daughter who made good tea. Well, it was me and me brother Charlie, 2 bigger shavers, United Sea. We were spearing eels in the month of April. We were starving slavies out on Scattery. I went to Norman's to buy some broadside, a keg of salt, and a pound of tea. But Norman said I could get no credit till the fish got plenty again out on Scattery. So I went over to the harbor. I only went to see the spray, and I spied a fair girl from Balladry over. She looked to me like the Queen of May. If I had pen from Pennsylvania, if I had paper so snowy white, if I had ink made of a rosy morning, a true love letter to her I would write. But I'll put my foot in the deepest ocean, as far from land as I could be, when sailing over the deepest ocean. A woman's love never bothered me, for when first I came to Caledonia, and I got loading at number 3, well, I got lodging with Donald Norman. He had a daughter who made good tea. He had a daughter who made good tea. Thank you. I've got guests behind the camera there. Let's see. I am going to mask up and get Elizabeth Elton from the band Lindsay Street up here momentarily. In fact, right now, Liz, why don't you come on up? And what am I going to say about these next songs?
I'm sure you'll think of something, Robert.
I'm sure I'll think of something. One of the things that I found out when I came to Fairhaven was that, well, it's fun to do projects and papers and actions and folk songs on your own. Collaboration is by far more fun. And I got to do some great projects. I'm going to call back a couple of things from projects here in a while that I did when I was at Fairhaven. But after I left Fairhaven and I was working at the co-op, I was lucky enough to meet some musicians, of whom Liz was one, and we've been in a band called Lindsay Street since about 2003 or 2004. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is bad because I was going to introduce this first song I'm going to play as something that we've been playing since then, and Liz said that is the lamest introduction to this song.
Robin.
So I'm not going to tell you
Put that in there anyway.
I'm not going to tell you that we've been playing this song, which I learned from my parents, who are folk singers out in Eastern Washington, since 2004 or so.
We haven't played it for a while.
We haven't played it for a while. We'll see how it goes tonight.
It'll happen.
I also should send a shout out to my coworker Ted, who is working my shift, so I don't have to be at work right now because that would have been super awkward.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Ted. And let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do a couple songs. These are things out of Lindsay Street's repertoire, and but we're gonna do them as a duo tonight. Oh, hey, I should do a shout out to Gene Rogers and Patty Chambers, the other members of Lindsay Street. We're all trying to stay safe and stay home and stay as separate as possible, and so it's just the two of us right now, but we're looking forward to gigs again. Aren't we all looking forward to gigs again?
Yes,
Aren't
we are.
Yes, we are. In the meantime, let's play some music. This is 12 Bonnie Maidens and the Black Joke. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yay! Fun, 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 fun. For us, hopefully fun for you. That's one we've been playing for a good while. This next one is one that we haven't been playing at all. Once there are gigs again,
Yes.
we hope to be down at Boundary Bay and down by the water on Taylor Street Dock and all the places that we get to go play music.
Hallelujah.
Playing tunes like this, and this is, you know, our reach exceeds our grasp. We're going to try this. It's the Wheels of the World and the Peacock's Feather, neither of which have we really worked up yet.
Has a killer mandolin tune on it, but we don't have that.
We don't have that either,
Yeah.
so
So,
this is what we do got.
I'll pluck.
Wish us
Yeah.
luck. Thank you. I'm still in drop D. Ah. That's what I get for not retuning.
Oh. Didn't know you had a tune for this.
I don't. It's the last one. All right. Here we go. Excellent work. Excellent
Yes.
work.
Woo!
Woo! All right, we're gonna
Happy
do,
holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays to
Hello
everybody.
to everybody I know out there that's
Yes,
listening
right.
right now, whether it might be listening later on YouTube. It's what's actually going to probably
We'll
happen.
make sure it's available.
It's going to be available. And,
It is.
There we go.
And we're gonna do one last one together. And this is a waltz. In case Margaret Bickman and Jay are watching, because
Anybody wants a waltz?
yeah,
It's time.
anybody who can waltz,
You
we
can
can't
waltz?
waltz.
You got room. I know you do.
This is just a pretty one that we like to play, and so here it is coming out at you. 2, 3, play more music soon.
And yes, I would really like to do that.
That will happen.
And you guys have a lot of fun.
We will. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Well, what else do I know? What am I doing next? Well, I have a set list, and I practiced it. This is the first place I went wrong. But thanks to Liz for showing up and playing. That's a lovely thing. Yes, yes, you. I am going to play a set of accordion tunes, and then sing a couple songs, and some from college days, and then we'll have another guest up here in a little bit because time goes flying along. I'm trusting that the technology is working. I could embarrassingly go check my phone and see if anybody messaged me, but I'm just going to assume that it's all going out there. Hope people have got popcorn, because we'll see what happens with these ones too. This is 3 English tunes, one of which is in a complicated key signature. That's good. Invisible guests are dancing around the living room, which is great. All right. What am I gonna do? Aha. I know what I'm going to do. I went to Fairhaven because I came out of a small town and I came to Bellingham, which is a bigger world. Oh, good Lord, that's never happened before. That's okay, I don't need it. And I was excited about collaboration and music and activism and figuring out how the world worked. And Fairhaven did a lot of, it helped me a lot with that. I didn't do a lot of music because I was being a college activist and running around organizing things, and I liked music and I wished I would have done more. I saw an awful lot of good bands. I saw Aaron Corday record an album in the auditorium, got to see all sorts of cool stuff happen. But I took, when Stan Tagg started teaching the Emily Dickinson class, I took that class, and there were two things about that I wanted to say. One of which, it was about collaboration. It was an independent study, eventually on Emily Dickinson and music, because that's what I was interested in. And it was really fun to pull a bunch of people together and do whatever was interesting, you know, historical settings of Emily Dickinson music, hymn tunes in Emily Dickinson's music, how those poems work with melodies. I could talk about that more, but I don't know that I have anything else to say about that other than my friend Terry Kempton. Terry, I'm a bad friend. I don't call you ever, and you even live in town. But I miss talking to you, and I should give you a call. The other year said that this particular thing that we did on that tape, which involved a lot of different students from Fairhaven and Western, is something that she still thinks about once in a while. And I dug it back out. I dug out my original copy of the Emily Dickinson book, which, as you can see, has had better days. And one of the things we did was we took poem 657, I Dwell in Possibility, and set it to the doxology from the Methodist and Lutheran and various other hymnals. And because this is a Fairhaven College Streaming Music Festival, I have not done this between that day and this, except earlier this week when I was trying to figure out how it actually went and what key it was in. So I'm just going to do this. It's Emily Dickinson's poem, I Dwell in Possibility. It's nice and short, and then I'll do something that has another story attached to it. I dwell in possibility, a fairer house than crows, more numerous of windows, superior for doors, of chambers as the cedars, impregnable of eye, and for the everlasting roof, the gambrels of the sky. Of visitors the fairest, for occupation this, the spreading wide my narrow hands to gather paradise. Cool. Thank you for humoring me. And Stan Tagg, that was a great class. I've heard a lot about John Bauer's folk song class that other people have gone to, and I'm jealous that I never did that, and it would be fun to have done that. But one of the good things about folk music is you don't need a license to sing it. You can kind of do punk ethos, you know, you don't have to get good at it before you start doing it. Lord knows, I didn't. Still plugging away at it. And like I said, Fairhaven gave me a lot of space to develop and try to figure out the world and figure out my place in it. I did do one independent study project with Sophie Statesel and Matt Remley and Monica McCallum and some other folks on folk music in support of activism. So the music wasn't really foremost. We never actually played any gigs, though we did make a tape, and I have the only copy that still exists, I think. And this is one of the songs we did on it. It's an interesting sort of Scottish folk song, but really it's very contemporary. It could be about PTSD, it could be about militarism. It's just one of the things I like about folk songs is they don't have to be good to have a license. They can just tell whatever stories they tell. And I like how many stories are hidden within some of these songs. This is one that we did for the independent study project, but we did it in the sort of Scottish dialect, and a few years ago I started doing it, but I rewrote it with a kind of more of an American English translation, because one of the things about folk that I like to do is sing folk music to people that don't listen to it. I mean, I like to sing folk music to people who listen to folk music all the time as well, but it's also important to me to be playing it to a general audience of folks who don't know the ins and outs or the history, and like, these are good songs that can translate, you know, they have impact for anybody, really, is my goal. So this is The Recruited Collier, sort of Americanized a little bit, but it's a folk song. What's the matter with you, my lass? And where's your dashing Jimmy? The soldier boys have picked him up, and they sent him far, far from me. Last payday he went into town, and those blue-coated fellows enticed him in. They got him drunk, and he'd better gone to the gallows. The very sight of his uniform makes us burst out crying. I fell and nearly fainted twice. They thought that I was dying. My father would have paid them off. He ran to get the money, but the sergeant swore he'd signed him up. So now they've got him from me. When Jimmy talks about the wars, it's worse than death to hear him. I have to turn and hide my face, for now I cannot bear him. A brigadier or a grenadier, he swears that they will make him. But though he laughs and he cracks his jokes, he begs me not to forsake him. As I walked over the stubble field, below it runs the mine, I dreamed of Jimmy working there once upon a time. He dug the very coals we burned, and when the fire I'm lighting, to think these lumps was in his. It's up again. Thank you for your patience. We're going to pretend that the computer just went for a beer. got stuck in the line and came back, and now the computer is listening again. It just totally froze up and disappeared. But wherever it shut off, this is Beth Loudon, who sings with me in Moving Hats and sails ships on the ocean and plants trees
In the rain.
in the rain. And we are going to do some of the Moving Hats songs together. We're going to start with The Snows They Melt the Soonest and go on from there. And thank you for your patience with the technology. What fun. Ha! Let's make this better. It went so well. We sang it before when the computer wasn't working, so if it goes that well, I'm going to be very pleased and somewhat surprised. The snows it melts. Oh, this is the wrong key, totally. See, we're already on it. This is like Back to the Future. The snows they melt the soonest when the winds begin to sing. The corn it ripens fastest when the frosts are settling in. And when a woman tells me that my face she'll soon forget, before we part I'll wage a bet. She'd be fain to follow me yet. The snows they melt the soonest when the winds begin to sing. The swallow skims without a thought as long as it is spring. But when spring goes and winter blows, I'm hoping you'll be fain for all your pride to follow me where I cross the stormy main. The snows they melt the soonest when the winds begin to sing. The corn that flew in summertime in winter cannot sting. And I've seen woman's anger melt between the night and morn, and it's surely not a harder thing to tame a young man's scorn. So never bid me farewell here, no farewell I'll receive, and you can walk me to the stile and kiss and take your leave. And I'll stay here till the woodcock calls and the martin takes its wing, for the snows they melt the soonest when the winds begin to sing. The good thing about that song is both times I forgot to tell the story about how we were practicing it, and we sang it about murder hornets by accident.
Mm.
Will do?
Yeah. Can you live stream on your phone?
Apparently.
Oh.
Okay, hey everybody. The computer froze up again. So we're just gonna sing it to the phone, and yeah, that's what we get having a pandemic. We're gonna do a song that I heard growing up, but Beth sings it very nicely, and usually Jesse Stanton and Howie Meltzer from the Moving Hats play it beautifully. They're not here tonight because pandemic. So I'm filling in on guitar. This is really Jesse's part to play. I get to play squeeze box usually, so it's all about the singing. And this is a song about how if you're kidnapped by the laird of the manor and he tries to marry you to his youngest son, it's important to escape and run away across the border before the wedding as opposed to after. The tears downfall for Jack O'Hazeley. Now let this woeful grief be done, and try that cheeks well. Young Frankie's Lord of Elton, chief of Lagdale. His step is first in peaceful hall, his sword in battle keen. But as she's let the tears down fall for Jack O'Hazeley. Chain of gold she shall not lack, nor braid to bind your hair, nor metal hound, nor managed hawk, nor palfrey fresh and fair. And you, the foremost of them all, shall ride our forest queen. But as she's let the tears down fall for Jack O'Hazeley. The kirk was decked at morning tide, the tapers glimmered fair, the priest and bridegroom waved the bride, and dame and knight were there. They sought her first in bower and hall, the lady was not seen. She's o'er the border and away with Jack O'Hazeley. And you shall be his bride, lady, so comely to be seen. She's o'er the border and away with Jack O'Hazeley. Nicely sung. All right. Hopefully that technology is more or less working for y'all. Sorry. There it goes again. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties.
Oh, we're sideways.
Are we sideways?
Yeah,
Well, let's just stay sideways.
I guess so. This is what I have to do.
Yeah. I probably could. This is a song called Bold Dougherty. I'm going to dedicate it to the Moving Hats, who we usually play it with. And I'm also going to dedicate it to Lindsay Street because this is a song about a gentleman who I would not want to play music with or interact with. I make coffee for guys like this sometimes, but
Haven't we all?
Haven't we all? It's called Bold Dougherty. Well, my name's Bold Dougherty. I'm from the North Country where there's a still on every stream. Landlady, be quicker to bring us more liquor and fill us a pitcher that's stronger than cream. If I had you Molly so pleasant and jolly, although it's a folly to ask you at all. If I had a glass and a mile to the bottom, I'd drink to you Molly beside Donegal, singing oh the dull day, oh the dull Dougherty, oh the dull day, singing oh the dull day. I had a new pair of clogs I'd brought home from the market. I needed an excuse to go to the town. I told my old mother the seams they were ripped. I needed some nails to rivet them round. She clothed my hand with a bright golden shilling. She thought the remainder it would be her own. She said, when we go to town you may buy half a nugget. Be sure you leave all those fancy girls alone, singing oh the dull day, oh the dull Dougherty, oh the dull day, singing oh the dull day. I was crossing the field near the Brave in a skillet. I went into an alehouse to take a dram. There I saw two tinkers dividing the saucepan, though they were arguing about a tin can. And one of them gave such a blow to the other, he said, you young villain, I will take your life. Your saucepans are leaking, they can't hold their water. Ever since Dougherty slept with your wife, singing oh the dull day, oh the dull Dougherty, oh the dull day, singing oh the dull day. When I got home, the door it was bolted. I knocked on my mother to let me back in. Be gone from this place was the word that she mentioned, for inside this door you'll not enter in. You may go away to wherever you came from, for to kick you out, I'm sure it's no sin. Said I, my dear mother, you can't keep your temper, and I'll just go sleep with Nora McGlynn, singing oh the dull day, oh the dull Dougherty, oh the dull day, singing oh the dull day. Well, my name's Bold Dougherty, I'm from the North Country where there's a still on every stream. My lady, be quicker to bring us more liquor and fill us a pitcher that's stronger than cream. If I had you Molly so pleasant and jolly, although it's a folly to ask you at all. If I had a glass and a mile to the bottom, I'd drink to you Molly beside Donegal, singing oh the dull day, oh the dull Dougherty, oh the dull day, singing oh the dull day. Woo. All right, well, technically there's a couple more things on the set list, but I'm thinking we should probably move along to our last song
Before the technology.
before the technology
cuts out again.
fails entirely. There's still people watching though. Thank you for sticking with us through a varied set of various things. And at least 3 separate streams and 2 different formats. Oh, I will.
Come over.
I'll be here.
I can't see you, Robin. It starts.
I'm going to forego the harmonica and another button accordion tune, and we're going to finish with a song called Hares on the Mountain. And I'd just like to thank the hosts and the organization. Thanks to Fairhaven for existing and for persevering through these times. Let's see, what else? Bellinghamsters, venues, places that you can go play music, people to play music with. Very thankful for those things. I also have to give a shout out to last week's performer, Heidi Mo Hawkins, because the first time I visited Bellingham, I went to the Landing, I think it was called. It was a little music store down in Fairhaven, and I bought this tape because it was Lesbo Techno Rave by Heidi Mo Hawkins, because I was from a very small town in Eastern Washington, and it blew my mind that there was cool stuff like this out there in the world, and that it was there in Bellingham. Made me want to come here, and I still have that tape, so it's pretty cool to get to be in the same series. Just a shout out to everybody who's out there doing creative things. And one last thing about folk music is the way I remember not liking this song at some point in high school because I thought it was about just bad dating situations. But when I listen to it now, I think it's more about young people changing the world and the drive to connect and people's, mammal selves. So now I like to sing it. And I would especially like to just send it out there to all of my coworkers who are trans and non-binary and out there being themselves in this big old world. And thank you all for listening. Thank you, Beth, for singing. And thank you, Liz, out there drinking coffee and laughing at us. Yeah, that sort of a thing. Hope to see you all out and about when it's safe to do so. We're going to sing this last song and then we'll head on out. Thank you so much for having us. If all the young girls were like hares on the mountain, young men would take dogs and go out a-hunting. Sing right for the little darrow, sing right for the day.
If all the young girls were like blackbirds and thrushes,
If all of the young girls were blackbirds and thrushes, young men would take nuts and search out the bushes. Sing right for the little darrow, sing right for the day. If all the young men were like green rushes growing,
if all of the young men were green rushes growing,
young girls would take sides and go out a-mowing. Sing right for the little darrow, sing right for the day.
Young ladies would rumble the fields late and early. Sing right for the little darrow, sing right for the day.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to turn this back off now. How?